Good evening, everyone. Get this down a little bit. My name is Chris Parsons, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of Athletics at Husson University. It's truly a pleasure to welcome all of you this evening as we come together to celebrate and honor 7 outstanding inductees and 1 remarkable team being recognized at the 39th Husson University Sports Hall of Fame. Could I have all of this year's inductees please stand? I was just going to ask if you could please hold your applause to the end, but that's okay. Joining us tonight are Corey Brandon, 2019 member of the football team. Leah Hibbett, 2019 member of the women's soccer team. Greg Martin, 2018 member of the men's golf team. Lindsay Merrill, 2017 member of the softball team. Ellis Throckmorton, 2017 member of the football team. Kenzie Worcester, 2021 member of the women's basketball team. Frank Pergolesi, athletic administrator. And the 2013 softball team. Please join me as we congratulate all tonight's inductees. At Husson, the student-athlete experience is fundamental to our students' education. Student-athletes are students before athletes. This past year, 19 of 20 varsity athletic teams met or exceeded a team grade point average of a 3.0. We look beyond the field, court, track, or trails to those lessons that student-athletes can learn and carry with them for life. We teach discipline, teamwork, reliability, focus, and leadership. With the assistance of our incredible coaches, we also show our student-athletes, many of whom are the first in their families to attend college, that they belong here and are an important thread of our Husson community. I would like to take a moment to recognize and thank our coaches and athletic staff members because their dedication makes all the difference. Could I have all our athletic staff please stand? And we're going to hold our applause to the end this time. Joining us tonight from the Husson Athletic Department are Nat Clark, head football coach, Gabby Price, assistant football coach, Rick Oreo, assistant football coach, Jake Cameron, assistant football coach, Ed Mestry, assistant football coach, Tucker Buzzle, assistant football coach, Dennis Mullins, head women's soccer coach, Mike O'Neill, head men's lacrosse coach, Amanda DeShays, head women's lacrosse coach, Warren Caruso, head men's basketball coach, Kissy Walker, head women's basketball coach, Lori Gott, assistant women's basketball coach, Randy Dodge, assistant women's basketball coach, Caitlin Doloff, field hockey coach, Mitch Mazajemba, sorry Mitch, head men's women's track and field and cross country coach, Allison Kondracki, assistant men's and women's track and field and cross country coach, Rick Roberts, head softball coach. Now we can give him an applause. Thank you. The acceptance and encouragement that these coaches and staff members provide has led many of our alumni to great lives and careers after Husson. I would like to thank the advancement staff, also our athletic staff, and the staff from NESCOM, especially Christine Meehan, Zach Mills, Janine Gamitter, and Jill Cram, who have helped plan and organize the logistics for this event this evening. At this time, I would like to ask all our current student athletes in attendance to please stand. Don't be shy. Thank you. Let's take a moment to thank them for their incredible dedication, hard work, and leadership that inspire our entire campus community. Thank you. I would also like to take a moment and recognize the fact that this is the 39th anniversary of Husson Sports Hall of Fame recognition and ceremony. So that's pretty incredible, 39 years. I think we had a couple years we had to skip due to the pandemic, but it's great to be back. Throughout that time, we have honored many of the best and the most successful athletes and coaches that this university has seen. The complete list is in your program if you're interested in seeing it. I would like to take a moment to recognize former inductees who are with us in person tonight. Could all our former inductees please stand? And could everyone please join me in welcoming all of our former Sports Hall of Fame inductees? Thank you. At this time, it is my privilege to welcome to the podium Husson University's 7th president, Dr. Lynn Koyogan. Dr. Koyogan is in her 2nd year as president of the university and previously served for 15 years as the senior vice president for academic affairs and provost before becoming the first female president in Husson's 127th year history. Welcome, President Koyogan.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to welcome you to the Husson University Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Lynn Koyogan, and it is a tremendous honor to serve as Husson's 7th president. Our 2025 Sports Hall of Fame inductees, they represent the very best of Husson athletic program. Among these 7 individuals and 1 administrator, in addition to 1 team, are those who've achieved impressive athletic success, representing Husson admirably. These former student athletes have excelled during their time at the university to have earned such a prestigious distinction. We are very proud of our Division III athletic programs at Husson. We currently have more than 450 student athletes who compete on our 22 athletic teams. At Husson, we believe that Division III athletic programs produce well-rounded student athletes who embrace the spirit of competition while becoming professional leaders in the fields like so many of you. Your presence here this evening to recognize these inductees and the success they have attained during their time at Husson is most appreciated. Congratulations to our newest additions to our Husson Sports Hall of Fame. You make us all very proud. We hope you enjoy the evening, and at this time I would like to welcome Bobby Campbell to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, President Koyogan. We will begin first with the presentation of the Clara Swan Female Athlete of the Year and the Del Merrill Athlete of the Year.
Your 2024-25 Clara Swan Female Athlete of the Year is Julia Gregoire. Gregoire capped off an impressive final season with the Husson softball program, earning North Atlantic Conference Player of the Year honors and helping lead the Eagles to 5 consecutive NAC championships and 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Her final season in the green and gold was the best of her 5-year career, as she batted .459 with 51 hits, 13 runs scored, 11 doubles, 4 triples, 3 home runs, 29 RBIs, 9 walks, and 4 stolen bases. She was named the NAC East Division All-Conference First Team, the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-Region First Team, and the Maine College Baseball and Softball Association First Team. The graduate student captain also earned spots on the NAC All-Tournament Team and the NCAA Division III Winona Regional All-Tournament Team. At the conclusion of her career, Gregoire ranked 7th all-time at Husson with a .383 batting average. She was also a two-time NAC East Division All-Conference honoree, a two-time College Sports Communicators Academic All-District selection, and a five-time NAC Winter Spring All-Academic team member. Over her 5 seasons with the Eagles, Gregoire totaled 108 hits, 34 runs scored, 23 doubles, 4 triples, 6 home runs, 64 RBIs, 32 walks, and 10 stolen bases. Your 2024-25 Del Merrill Male Athlete of the Year is Jackson Curtis. Curtis capped off one of the most outstanding careers in Husson University baseball history, helping lead the Eagles to 5 consecutive North Atlantic Conference championships and 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances. His senior season culminated with numerous accolades, including NAC Player of the Year and Maine College Baseball and Softball Association Player of the Year. He further added to his Hall of Fame worthy resume by earning D3Baseball.com All-Region Second Team honors, ABCA Rawlings All-Region Second Team, NAC First Team, and MCBSA First Team. Additionally, Curtis was selected to play in the New England Intercollegiate Baseball Association Senior All-Star Game. He earned NAC Player of the Week honors on March 31st, MCBSA Player of the Week on April 1st, and was named to the College Sports Communicators Academic All-District Team. In his final season with the Eagles, Curtis batted an impressive .391, tallying 59 hits, 31 runs scored, 13 doubles, 1 triple, 9 home runs, 49 RBIs, 19 walks, and 5 stolen bases. He posted a .463 on-base percentage, a .669 slugging percentage, a 1.132 OPS, leading the league in both hits and RBIs. By the end of his career, Curtis ranked 4th all-time in hits, 219, 7th in runs scored, 137, and 1st in home runs, 33, RBIs, 182, games started, 172, and doubles, 52. Over his 5 seasons with the Eagles, Curtis earned All-Conference honors twice, All-Region 3 times, MCBSA All-State twice, NAC Tournament MVP twice, NAC All-Tournament Team honors 4 times, and CSC Academic All-District recognition twice.
Congratulations to those recipients, and they sound like 2 individuals that may be standing on this stage here someday. I don't know about the other inductees here tonight, but whenever I was getting ready for a big game or something special like this, I always got those butterflies, in your stomach. And if you're athletes that used to happen to, you can surely relate until that, that first pitch was thrown, or that first tackle was made, or or the first shot was put up. So I just think it's a great feeling, and I'm so happy that I have the privilege of serving as your host for the remainder of this evening's program. As a 1992 graduate of Husson University, an inductee into the Husson Sports Hall of Fame, and the current chairperson of the Husson Sports Hall of Fame Committee, it's an honor to be with you all tonight. I would like to also extend my sincere thanks to the Husson Athletic Department, the Sports Information Office, and the Husson University New England School of Communications for the outstanding work on the videos that we're all soon going to enjoy. Additionally, I wish to acknowledge the many individuals working diligently behind the scenes who make this evening such a memorable occasion year in and year out. Tonight, we all come together here not only to celebrate the exceptional accomplishments of our student athletes, but also to recognize the dedication and the support provided by those in attendance who have contributed to their journeys. Over the years, I've heard many, many acceptance speeches, and the recurring theme is the profound appreciation inductees express for those that have helped them along the way. For those of you here tonight, I hope you take immense pride in this evening. You've played a vital role, no matter how big or small, in those individuals making their way to this stage tonight. At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of our Hall of Fame committee. This is a devoted group who works tirelessly carefully reviewing a very large pool of talented candidates and selecting only the most deserving student athletes for induction into this prestigious Hall of Fame. I know they are not all in attendance. Actually, we're only missing one tonight. But I'll read their names, and if the members who are here would stand, we'll give them a round of applause at the end. Executive Athletic Director Chris Parsons, Sue Allen, Mary Whitehead, Warren Caruso, Shelby Bradford, John Boucher, Kissy Walker, and Colby Horn. This is a night to honor 7 incredible individuals and the very successful 2013 softball team, which set a high bar and standard for all the other softball teams that would follow. Thank you, and let's begin our presentations.
Corey Brandon is regarded as the most prolific passing quarterback in Husson University football program history. A 3-time all-conference quarterback selection, Brandon earned first-team honors in 2016 and 2017, in addition to second-team honors in 2018, and was a part of Husson winning 4 straight Eastern Collegiate Football Conference championships from 2015 to 2018, and making 4 consecutive trips to the NCAA Division III Football National Championship playoffs. Brandon finished his career with 7,213 passing yards, 75 touchdowns, 8.4 yards per completion, 171.7 yards per game, a 62% completion percentage, and a 154.9 passer efficiency rating in 42 career games. The 2018-19 Del Merrill Male Athlete of the Year recipient, Brandon earned Hanson Ratings All ECFC quarterback honors in 2017, Noontime Sports All New England team in 2016, and was named to the Noontime Sports Maine Team of the Decade from 2010 to 2019, along with Noontime Sports ECFC Preseason Players to Watch in 2017. At the time of his induction, Brandon ranks first all-time in passing yards, passing touchdowns, passing efficiency, average yards per attempt, and total offensive yards per game. He is also ranked second in passing attempts, completion percentage, passing yards per game, touchdowns responsible for, and third all-time in total offensive yards and total offensive yards per game. Additionally, Brandon quarterbacked the 2017 football team that won a program-best 10 games, upsetting number 19, number 20 Springfield College on the road in the first round of the NCAA Division III Football National Championship playoffs.
Good evening. On this special night, I'd like to congratulate all the honorees on their selection to the Husson Athletics Hall of Fame. I continue to be amazed at the quality of the men and women who have been selected and honored here tonight, as well as the athletic teams and all they've accomplished. It is a great honor and privilege for me to introduce Corey Brandon. We would like to extend a warm welcome to Corey, his parents, Helen and Darren, his brother Ty, and his fiancee Emma. Also celebrating with Corey tonight are various teammates and coaches. We wish we could tell some romantic recruiting story on how Corey came to Husson and how we out-recruited everyone to land him here at Husson. But in fact, when we recruited Corey out of Pembroke Academy, Massachusetts, his senior year, he originally chose another school, a school in Iowa. To our excitement in January of his first year in college, Corey picked up the phone and called and asked us if we'd be willing to take him. I believe it took Coach Price about a half a second to say yes. We did know that Corey was an outstanding high school quarterback who played in a very competitive Massachusetts league. His parents and grandparents had great connections in athletics throughout New England, including the Boston Red Sox. We knew after visiting with Corey and his parents during his senior year on his recruiting trip to campus that he came from a loving home where competition and excellence had been instilled in him from a very early age. Simply put, Corey had the it factor. And that is something you look for in a quarterback. When he arrived in the spring of 2015, we soon found out in person all the great attributes that Corey possessed. Corey's head coach, when he was here, Coach Gabby Price, who's also his quarterback coach, had this to say about Corey. Corey was a coach's dream, a tremendous person and quarterback. His command of the huddle, his leadership, and his passion for football was elite. Corey was a great on and off the football field. Corey's record-setting career was a result of his commitment, his passion, unselfishness, determination, and his tremendous attitude and ability. Corey's impact on Husson football was and is legendary. Corey gave us a feeling that anything was possible no matter what the score. Corey was all about the team, and he was all about winning. In athletics, so many times we are defined by some stat or an award or something that simply we did. We know Corey's bio that he had all the stats. As we know, that is only part of the story here. But the presence and charisma an athlete displays tells more of a complete story. For example, we answer questions like, what kind of teammate was he? Was he there when we needed him? Did he do all he could for the team? Does he have passion? Corey answered all those questions with a defined yes. Corey's former Husson teammate and good friend, Jake Cameron, a current assistant coach on our staff, had this to say about Corey. Corey was a phenomenal teammate. In the huddle, Corey's always brought a sense of calm in every pressure situation. It gave all his teammates the confidence that the situation was never too big. Off the field, Corey encouraged teammates, helped others, celebrated other teammates' successes, and was always counted on to be at every workout or team activity. Corey didn't miss one thing here as an athlete. Between his humility, resilience, and his unwavering passion for the game, Corey was the ultimate teammate and quarterback, according to Jay Cameron. It was evident, obvious for all of us associated with Husson football to witness the support that Corey had each and every game during his time here. People who know Corey, and even if you didn't, all you had to do was come to a game on a Saturday afternoon and see him throw the ball and lead the team, and see all the people that surrounded him, his teammates, and of course his family. The pride and the love that surrounded the Brandon family and his teammates was overwhelming and special. Corey's unselfish attitude and love for life is a direct result of the love and support he received throughout his life from his family, his friends, and all his teammates. How is it that any of us are able to accomplish anything in life? We firmly believe we are all put here for a reason, and to accomplish anything, we need a great combination of purpose and talent. Corey was blessed with so many talents that over the years he worked hard to develop. Corey's selection to the Husson Hall of Fame is a testament to his character, his leadership, perseverance as an athlete, a teammate, a son, a brother, and a soon-to-be husband. Everyone associated with Corey's selection should feel a great deal of pride tonight. Tonight, Corey is recognized for his talent, his hard work, passion, perseverance, and his courage. Being selected took a great deal of sacrifice. The Hall of Fame can be defined as a group of people who have been selected as dynamic and special. As are the rest of the inductees tonight, Corey is special. A special person receiving a special award. Congrats, Corey, and your family. And it is my pleasure to introduce you into the Husson Athletics Hall of Fame.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I just want to start by saying how truly honored I am to be standing here tonight, inducted into the Husson University Hall of Fame. To be recognized in this way at a place that means so much to me is incredibly special and honestly a little surreal. I want to thank Husson University, the selection committee, for this honor and everybody that had a part in making tonight so special. I also want to congratulate the other inductees on their amazing careers here at Husson. I want to start by thanking my family who's traveled a tremendous way to be here with me tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. While I was at Husson, I was coached by two men who truly mean the world to me, Coach Price and Coach Clark. They really knew how to make a guy feel special, and they did that for me on a daily basis during my 4 years. Whether it was after a long day in class, before an early morning meeting during preseason camp, or even after practice I didn't play all that great, I don't think there was a time that I didn't see them tell me, "Wow, Koa, you look great." I knew they truly cared about me and loved me and every other player on our roster, and that's what made the bonds at Husson so special. These bonds have led to friendships that will last my entire life. During my days at Husson, I had the privilege of being part of 3 straight conference championship teams, being part of Husson's first postseason win, which is incredibly rare and something I'm so proud of. But those championships were not won by one player. They were earned by a group of people who bought into a mission, worked hard, pushed each other each and every day to achieve a common goal. We all collectively wanted to be great, and that's a direct credit to our coaches. To Coach Price and Coach Clark, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for pushing me, never letting me settle. You always coach me hard each and every day. And more than just being my coaches, thank you for loving me and allowing me to grow into the player I always dreamed of being. I also have to give a special shout out to Coach Mo, the former baseball coach here. He came to recruit me at my high school during a blizzard, and it made me feel really special when he told me, "It was worth the drive, big guy. Coach Price told me I wasn't allowed to come back to Bangor without meeting with you." To my teammates, every single one of you made this night possible for me. I was truly blessed to share the field with some of the toughest and most dedicated and selfless people I've ever met. The memories I have, I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. There are so many guys I would love to thank, but there's a special few that I'm going to mention tonight. One being Parker Aslan, my roommate, fellow QB, one of the best friends a guy could ask for. Parker was always there for me, to help me, to push me, and to make sure I got home after those big wins on Saturday. Ty Bassett, one of the best guys I've ever met, such a gritty competitor, a fellow Tom Brady enthusiast, and a guy who always made me laugh. To DJ Allen, Luke Washburn, Jake Cameron, John Smith, and Ellis, you guys are guys I cherished. You guys approached football in a way that was just so truly incredible. I appreciated you so much, and sharing the field with you was truly an honor. Thank you. A special thank you, obviously, to my offensive linemen for keeping me standing upright all those years, keeping me healthy, let me throw the football. Thank you. I want to give a special thank you to the love of my life who's with me tonight, Emma. She wasn't around during my playing days, but she's there now when I feel old and want to cherish my glory days, and she lets me reminisce and tell all my stories. And finally, to my family and my parents, thank you for every sacrifice you made so that I could chase this dream and have it become greater than I ever imagined. Since I was a little boy, all I wanted to do was be a quarterback. My parents did everything they could to help me achieve my dream, from driving me to practices and games, taking me to football camps across the country, and countless hours practicing in the yard and all the memories in between. To my mother, I can't begin to thank you enough. My mother has worked so hard her entire life to give me, my brother, and my sister every single opportunity we had to be great. I can't express enough how thankful I am for you. My mom was always my biggest hug after a game, always the first face I found coming off the field, and was truly my biggest fan. I love you, Mom. To my father, to the man who made me into the man I am today. My father was a collegiate all-star baseball player, and he set the bar high in our house athletically. I always wanted to be like my old man. My dad coached me in football and baseball growing up. My dad never said no to playing catch, to practicing routes in the yard. My dad gave his whole heart to being my dad, and that is something I can never thank him enough for. I would never be here today without the love and support of my father. He pushed me really hard, and there were days I asked why. Today, I know why. To my dad, you're my hero. I love you. This night is because of you. I end tonight with one last thank you to Husson, to everybody who watched and supported me and my teammates. Thank you to all my coaches, all my beloved teammates. Thank you to my family. Thank you again. Go Eagles.
Leah Hibbard is one of the top soccer players in Husson University history, playing for the women's soccer program from 2014 to 2017. A 4-time North Atlantic Conference All-Conference selection, Hibbard earned first-team All-Conference honors in 2014, 2016, and 2017, and second-team accolades in 2015. Hibbard finished her career with 54 goals and 18 assists, including 11 game-winning goals and 70 career games played. At the time of her induction, Hibbard ranked second all-time in game-winning goals, fourth in points, points per game, goals, goals per game, and tied for 8th all-time in assists. Hibbett earned a second-team New England Women's Intercollegiate Soccer Association All-New England honor in 2017, was selected to the NEWISA Senior All-Star Game that same season, and earned NAC Conference All-Tournament Team honors in 2017.
There's so many great things to say about Leah, and while she was a standout student athlete, I think the best thing that I could say about coaching Leah, she was kind and very respectful, and she led by example. She never came off with a bad attitude. She tried everything we asked of her, and she just left it out on the field, whether it was practice, sprints, or games, and so she was a really fun player to coach. Leah was a true star. She's a true scorer as a soccer player, and that's actually really hard to find, someone that just has a nose for the net. And while she was really good at passing, she had some really great assists, I could almost always count on her to score in a game. And so a lot of times we would set up free kicks and corner kicks for her to get on the end of them, because we knew that we could put that pressure on her and she wouldn't fold. And so, that really stood out at the very beginning. And as I mentioned, she just a wonderful human being, and just really led some of our younger student athletes through transitions and just, first getting into college. So she was a bright spot from her freshman year to all the way till she graduated. At this time, I'd like to induct Leah Hibbett into the Husson University Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I truly wish I could be there with you in person tonight, but even from Arizona, I want to express how deeply honored and humbled I am to be inducted into the Husson Sports Hall of Fame. This moment means more to me than I can put into words. It represents not just personal milestones or accomplishments, but years of dedication, growth, and most importantly, unwavering support of so many incredible people who helped me along the way. To my family, friends, teammates, and colleagues, thank you. I would not be receiving this honor without your constant encouragement and belief in me. To my mom, thank you for being the biggest supporter, from driving me to countless practices and games across New England during my childhood, and then making long drives from Rhode Island to Maine to cheer on me during my Husson soccer years, especially during my senior year. Your love and dedication never went unnoticed. To the amazing women I had the privilege of playing on the field with, thank you for challenging me, pushing me, and making me a better player every single day. I will never forget our pump-up playlists, dance parties in the locker rooms, and most importantly, the pasta dinners before game night. Soccer is the ultimate team sport, and I wouldn't be here without each and every one of you. To my coaches, Coach Cummings and Coach Gifford, thank you for believing in me and seeing more in me than sometimes I saw in myself. Even when I hesitated to take on new roles like playing midfield, you both recognized that my impact could go far beyond scoring goals. You made me a better teammate and a more complete player. Being recognized like this is something I will never take for granted. It's a reminder that hard work, heart, and humbleness really do matter. Thank you again for this incredible honor, and a special thank you to everyone who helped put this ceremony together. Your time and effort made this night so meaningful for all of us being inducted. I'm so proud to be a part of the Husson Sports Hall of Fame. Thanks again.
One of the most respected men's golfers in Husson University program history, Greg Martin played 4 years for the Eagles from 2012 to 2015. A four-time North Atlantic Conference All-Conference selection in 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. Martin helped guide the Eagles to 3 NAC championships in 13, 14, and 16, and made 3 trips to the NCAA championship. A 2016 Golf Coaches Association of America All-American, Martin earned GCAA All New England honors in 2016, All-State honors in 2015 and 16, and was a two-time New England Intercollegiate Golf Association All New England selection in 2015 and 2016. At the time of his induction, Martin was one of only 4 players in program history to be named Conference Player of the Year twice in his career, winning NAC Player of the Year honors in 2015 and 2016, in addition to winning Conference Rookie of the Year in 2013. A 3-time Husson Men's Golf Eagle Award recipient from 2013 to 2015, Martin finished his career with a 76.49 scoring average, which ranks 8th all-time at the time of his induction. Martin tallied 7 wins during his career, 21 top 5 finishes, and 27 top 10 performances in 74 rounds played. He ranks tied for 8th all-time at the time of his induction in career par or better rounds with 9, 8th in rounds played, and 5th in overall wins with 2,078.
You know, I'm very, very pleased to have this opportunity to help welcome Greg into the Husson Sports Hall of Fame. It seems like it's quite a while ago now, but it was a very memorable time that I was recruiting for golf and had the opportunity to talk with Greg and perhaps persuade him a little bit to come to Husson. And it was probably one of the best recruiting periods of time that I had, because Greg was a special, special individual. You all have in your booklet what he has accomplished, and obviously his records and what he did with his golf clubs. It's amazing. It's amazing what he accomplished. He was an athlete at Husson that we are all so very proud of, because of what he was able to accomplish on the golf course. But it's much more than that. Greg is much more than that. I often say this about an individual like Greg, that every coach, sometime during his time, his career, they should have a Greg Martin, because he makes your program so much better. He is a leader. He is honest. He demands respect because of his leadership qualities. He leads by example. And not only is he respected by his teammates, but he's also respected by his opponents. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing to watch. And I am so pleased that this is where it has ended, with him being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
First and foremost, Greg, I'd like to congratulate you on 4 years of incredible golf and all that you gave to our program for the 4 years that you were here. Unfortunately, I only got to coach you for 2 of those years, but they were 2 very magical seasons. Starting out with the first season, winning the conference championship individually, being Player of the Year down at Black Rock in Massachusetts. I remember one moment in that event specifically, and it was the second day. We were on the 18th hole. It was a par 5 finishing hole, and you had just hit an unbelievable drive, nice cut up around the trees, and we're sitting 200 yards from the green. When I got out there, you were kind of hemming and hawing over what you were going to do, and if you were going to hit a pitching wedge to lay up, or should you go for it. And I got to you, and you were asking me what you thought I would do. And I said, Greg, you're only 200 yards out. That's a 5-iron. Just hit a 5-iron. And you hit it on the back edge of the green, 2-putted for birdie, and went on to win the conference championship that year and be Player of the Year. And that was just the beginning of the 2 years that we had together. You were just a great leader. You inspired the other players to be better, to work harder. Everything about you was for Husson Eagles, and it was truly 2 of the most magical years that I had. And God knows we didn't have much that first year. We were scraping for players, and We brought Ben Walls off the baseball team so that we could have 5 to go to the conference championship and compete. And you inspired those guys, and we almost won. I think we lost that year by 2 shots, and Ben hadn't been playing much golf, and we had a freshman who was pretty green, but you played well, and again, it built the program during my coaching tenure because guys saw what you brought to the table and wanted to be a part of it. And as we move forward, the very next year, we went to Rutland, Vermont, and won the conference championship. Those were all things that you were a part of in bringing to Husson University and our golf program. And I'm very grateful for the 4 years that you brought to Husson. So we'll go to Rutland, Vermont for a minute and talk about another moment. Greg was always worried about what the team was doing, not necessarily concerned about what he was doing. Even though he couldn't control what the team was doing, he was concerned about it. So again, 18th hole, drives it perfectly down the middle. I get out to him, and he's got like a little wedge into the green. And I never forget, he's like, "Coach, how are we doing?" I said, "Well, Greg, we're in good shape. I think we've got this one in hand." And I said, "And you're doing pretty good too, so we just need to wedge this on the green, 2-putt, and go celebrate the victory." And he kind of gleaned from that he was leading the event, and he hit the most god-awful wedge I've ever seen him hit. Almost put it in the parking lot. So we go down there and find that one, and I said, "Greg, just put it on the green. Just chip it on, 2-putt, 5's fine." And that's what he did. And, you know, it's just, it was one of those things. His excitement for the team winning the conference championship was just, it was really impressive. And it definitely made for a great ride back from Rutland, Vermont. And one of the most cherished moments I had was we were coming back, and we hit the Kennebec rest area, and word had traveled that we had won the conference championship. And when we got back to the rest area, the football team was there, and of course they travel in pretty big numbers. So we got out of the van, headed in, was getting something to eat, and when we got through the doors, they all stood up and gave us a standing ovation. So that was a pretty cool memory. So, Greg, again, thank you for everything you gave to me, to the program, and it's a great pleasure of mine to introduce you or induct you into the Husson Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Greg.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank Husson University for putting together such a special event. To be recognized in this way and to take my place in the Husson Hall of Fame is an incredible honor. Golf has always had a special place in my heart. From the earliest moments I could remember, the game captivated me. What started as a childhood obsession has turned into a lifelong passion, and I am truly blessed to have been able to turn that passion into a career. I've had the privilege of playing golf across this country, both competitively and for fun. I've met incredible people, worked and played alongside some of the best golfers in the world, and I have somehow managed to build a life doing what I love most. For all of that, I am deeply grateful. But with true greatness, one can usually expect at least one rock bottom moment, and let me tell you about mine. I had just walked onto a strong college golf team. Juniors and seniors before me had their time of winning. On this team, making the roster didn't guarantee you'd play. Each week, we had to qualify for a spot to play in each tournament. I missed the qualifying for the first two events. My game was a mess. For a guy dreaming of playing professionally one day, not being able to crack the lineup was hard. I started to doubt myself. Then opportunity knocked. A teammate couldn't play in the third event due to a class conflict. Suddenly, I was next in line. This was my chance to show everyone what I could do. That night, I went full Tiger Woods mode. I cleaned my clubs till they sparkled, ironed my clothes, lined them up, hat and glove like I was packing for Augusta. I went to bed early in my dorm on the 8th floor of Hart Hall, feeling locked in and ready. The next morning, I woke up. Sunlight pouring through my window, which is odd because I knew for sure that if we wanted to get to Sunday River by 8 a.m., we would have to leave before the sun got up. Then I looked at my phone. 30 missed calls, 18 texts, multiple voicemails. I had slept through my alarm and missed the bus. They gave my spot to a teammate who had just happened to be at the gym at 6 a.m. Great for him, terrible for me. That was my rock bottom moment. I called home ready to quit. I was angry, embarrassed, frustrated. I told myself maybe I wasn't cut out for this. Maybe it was time to hang it up. But thankfully, those emotions didn't stick. Fast forward a few years later, a few tournament wins, plenty of missed cuts, and a whole lot of perspective later, here I am. I share this because in golf, just like in life, you lose more than you win. You get humbled, you'll miss a bus, sometimes literally, but those moments are where the real growth happens. There are many people that I have to help along the way. Coach McGregor, you taught me passion. For a man who's accomplished so much in basketball, in golf, in life, your love for what you did always stood out for me. You used to say, play one shot at a time and never ever give up. That mindset has stuck with me to this day. You've impacted so many people, not just me, but many in this room. And for that, I thank you. Coach Dugas, you stepped into my life junior year, inheriting a team that was bruised, battered, and down to 6 players, and somehow turned us into conference champions. Your enhanced knowledge of the game taught me so much. The long talks we had in van rides to tournaments is something I will cherish forever. Your belief in me, especially when I struggled to believe in myself, helped to build my career. You helped me see what I was capable of, even when I couldn't, and I thank you for that. To my parents, none of this happens without you guys. You instilled in me and all the boys that you can do anything you put your mind into. Dad, everything I am as an athlete and as a man began with you. You loved this game before me. The countless hours spent in a car driving to tournaments or begging you for another bucket of golf balls at Volk's driving range. So many incredible memories we have shared through this game. With this game, you taught me respect, discipline, and the value of hard work. You instilled in me all men are created equal, some just work harder than others. You taught me to stay humble, to never quit, and to chase my goals with relentless effort. I am truly grateful for you as a coach, but most importantly, as a father. You love and support my ambitions and goals to this day, and you believe in me fully. Dad, this honor is as much yours as it is mine. Thank you, and I love you. Golf is an individual sport. There are no substitutions, timeouts, or halftimes. It's not easy, and it never will be. You must work. Dedication is why I'm here today. I never stop believing in yourself and what you can accomplish. There weren't always great days, and in golf you lose more than you win. But with success and achievement, you need to overcome adversity and disappointment. No one will hand you what you want, and You have to go out and earn it. Tonight, I stand here humbled and proud to join the ranks of so many incredible athletes who've come through this university. This is an honor, and I will always carry it with pride, and I thank you.
One of the most productive players in Husson University softball history, Lindsay Merrill played 4 seasons for the Eagles from 2013 to 2016. A 3-time North Atlantic Conference All-Conference selection from 2014 to 2016. Merrill helped the Eagles win 3 straight NAC championships from 2013 to 2015 and make 3 consecutive NCAA regional appearances. Merrill finished her career hitting .372 with 116 runs scored, 167 hits, 36 doubles, 17 triples, 10 home runs, 106 RBIs, 12 walks, 26 hit by pitches, and finished 18-20 on stolen bases. A 2016 NAC All-Tournament Team selection, Merrill was named the NCAA Regional All-Tournament Team in 2015 and was the Husson Softball Eagle Award recipient in 2015. Additionally, in 2016, Merrill became the first player in program history to be crowned NAC Senior Scholar Athlete, also earning College Sports Communicators Academic All-District Team honors in 2016. At the time of her induction, Merrill ranked tops in program history in hit by pitches and triples, 4th in total bases, 5th in slugging percentage, hits, runs batted in, 6th in at-bats, 7th in doubles, 8th in games played, 9th in runs scored, and 10th in career average and home runs.
Lindsay was the type of player that was a coach's dream, honestly, and she was just so competitive on the field, and I fully trusted her to lead our defense at shortstop. Lindsay was the type of kid that, would brush off a mistake, that would bounce back, that would be super aggressive on the field, and she had a poise about her that her team really rallied behind for success. Lindsay was a well-balanced student athlete. She would spend her time and her days studying, helping the athletic staff with administrative duties, oftentimes in my office, either chatting or helping me with practice plans, photocopying and things like that. Or she would be found taking extra reps until her batting gloves broke or her blistered hands, made her stop. She was never one to be taken out of a game, always pushing through, always resilient. And oftentimes I find myself, recalling a memory between her and I out in Florida where she actually broke her tooth with someone sliding into a tag play at shortstop. She came off the field, kind of holding her hand awkwardly, and I was like, Lindsay, what's going on? And she was like, Coach, I think I just broke my tooth. And we walked back to the dugout, and I asked her, she was up to bat, and I said, hey, Lindsay, do you want me to sub you out? And she goes, absolutely not. And I think that just speaks to the character that she had. It was always about her team, always about just putting her body out there and doing whatever she had to get the win. And that's truly what I remember Lindsay being, just a well-rounded student athlete and always doing what's best for the team. It is my honor to induct Lindsay into the 2025 Husson Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to take a moment to congratulate the members of the 2025 Hall of Fame class. What a special honor it is to share this night with you all, especially my teammates from the 2013 softball team. Also, a special thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for taking the time to review all these wonderful candidates and for your work putting this event together to celebrate us all. Also, the generous donors and the love to the softball program from Bob and Fran O'Keefe. In preparation for this speech, I called my dad, who is sitting in the crowd tonight, with the rest of my family to ask him when I started playing softball, to which he answered probably right around 4 years old. I asked him what I was like when I was a 4-year-old. Did I love it? To which he responded, well, bud, you sat down on the ground in the outfield and attempted to pick every flower you could find. Needless to say, I come a long ways from those days while I was a player at Husson. From picking daisies to standing here as a Hall of Fame inductee, there are so many people who helped me along in this incredible journey. While it'll take a lot longer than 2 minutes to thank them all, I'll share a few key ones with you tonight. To my mom and dad, there are no words. You devoted countless hours to practices, lessons, games, car rides, and everything in between, which molded me into the athlete I became. You taught me that no matter how many times you fail, keep getting back up, work harder, and to never cease my pursuit of excellence on and off the field. I will never forget how I could pinpoint your voices in the stands every single game, and they rarely missed a game in my 4 years, home or away. To my sister Kayla, who's sitting in with the inductees tonight, we played softball together our entire lives, all the way through college, which is not seen very often. Thank you for being my forever passing partner, my biggest competitor, while simultaneously my biggest motivator, and one of my best friends. I think we can both agree if we didn't have each other for our collegiate careers, we would both not be sitting here today. To my younger sister Lauren, who is also in the crowd tonight, you may not have realized it at the time, but you're one of my biggest motivators for me to be better on and off the field. When Kayla and I left for school, we knew that your young softball career was just starting, and we had the opportunity to be an example for you and what hard work and dedication can get you in your chosen craft. It was the best first full circle moment for me when it was our turn to watch you walk into the pitcher circle for USM and excel in your own career, as much as we wanted the Merrill sister name to continue at Husson. Finally, Coach Terry and Taryn. I never had two coaches who pushed me to be my best and who were invested as me as an individual more than you did. No matter what I was going through, a struggle on the field, in my game player skills, or in my personal life, you both were always there no matter what. Your unwavering dedication to all the athletes that came through the program while you were here is something to be admired, and I will forever be thankful for the moments I got to be under your guidance. As I said, there are many others who helped me get to this level and to this moment, for which I can't thank enough. But you've all heard enough from me, and I'm sure I'm on borrowed time from my kids crying back there. Congratulations again to the 2025 Hall of Fame class. Thank you.
Frank Pergolizzi, one of the longest-serving athletic directors in Husson University history, led the Department of Athletics from 2013 to 2023. Over his 10-year tenure, Pergolizzi guided the Eagles to 57 conference championships across 14 sports and 40 NCAA tournament appearances in 9 sports. The 2017-18 academic year marked a historic milestone under Pergolizzi's leadership, as Husson achieved its highest ever finish in the Division III National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics Directors Cup, placing inside the top 100 for the first and only time in program history. Pergolizzi oversaw the addition of 4 varsity sports during his time at Husson: women's tennis, men's swimming and diving, men's track and field, and women's golf. His impact also extended to major facility enhancements. He helped spearhead the creation of the Wadley Academic Center within Newman Gymnasium, completed in 2015, and the White Strength and Conditioning Facility, finished in the fall of 2016. In 2015 and 2016, Pergolizzi played a pivotal role in the upgrades to the Dr. John W. Lincoln Sports Complex, including the addition of a press box for football and field hockey in 2015, and the replacement of the field turf surface, improved drainage system, new fencing, and an updated scoreboard in the spring of 2016. In 2020, he supported the resurfacing of John P. Boucher Field with new field turf, and in 2022, he contributed to the development of a covered hitting pavilion at the Robert and Francis O'Keefe softball field.
Good evening. My name is Nat Clark, and I'm the head football coach here at Husson. It's my privilege and pleasure to do this induction tonight. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees, their families, their friends, their teammates. Tonight serves as a culmination of all the hard work, the dedication, skill, and most importantly, the resilience needed to excel in athletics. As I mentioned, it's my pleasure to introduce and speak on behalf of Frank Bergalizzi. I want to personally thank Frank for this opportunity and for the opportunity he gave me here at Husson, hiring me as full-time head coach. Frank served as athletic director at Husson from 2013 to 2023 and presently stays very connected to the programs that make up Husson Athletics. Frank was here at Husson for 10 years, a span of time that we flourished as a department and had a remarkable amount of individual and team success on and off the playing fields. Some words to describe Frank's leadership at Husson would be consistent, personable, and present. Quoting Warren Caruso, our longtime men's basketball coach, Frank has always been present. It was always a text of support on the road. He made you feel supported at all times. Frank was able to use his vast leadership experiences in athletics to positively lead our department on a daily basis. Through his leadership, he brought the department to places we had not been. In his time as AD, we won multiple conference championships. We hosted NCAA playoff games and regional championships. Our teams traveled abroad and all over the country representing Husson. Our athletes experienced some of the greatest academic success under his watch, and he hired many outstanding coaches to join our staff. As you know, Frank started his career after graduating from Williams College in Massachusetts at Hebron Academy right here in Maine. Maine's always been a special place for Frank. Frank's early career consisted of him teaching and coaching football at Hebron, a place he fondly remembers and visits to this day. Frank worked his way up through the ranks to eventually become the head football coach at St. Francis in Pennsylvania, a Division I institution at the time. While at St. Francis, Frank started his administrative journey. Frank was AD at East Tennessee State, Southeast Louisiana, and for those of you guys that don't know, that's a couple of big-time Division I programs. The great thing about Frank is that when he came to Husson, he didn't talk about all the great places he had been at. Frank made you feel like Husson was his big-time place. Frank is an extremely humble person. Frank's coaching background was a real asset to him as athletic director. As a former coach himself, Frank could relate and appreciate what coaches go through on a daily basis. As coaches, we respected Frank's advice, his evaluation, and anything that he could give us as a coach. In fact, Frank was on our huddle account, and for those of you that don't know what a huddle account is, it's how we watch video, our games, and our practices for most sports here at Husson. Frank, during his time as AD, was on our football huddle account, and most days he would come in after watching practice the next day and give us, our coaches, some friendly advice on some things he saw, his expertise as specifically a defensive back coach in the sport of football. I think the thing that, Frank just has such a great way about him. He's never offensive, and anytime he spoke to our coaches in football and all the other sports, people just listened because of the way he presented himself. Was never offensive, and he had the respect of everyone. Frank is a valuable member of the Bangor and Husson communities. As AD, Frank was always present. Frank did miss a game, I don't think, in his time at Husson. He certainly did miss a home game, and he frequently traveled to other events off campus to support Husson. Anytime you'd see Frank at a game, he always had that same calm, even demeanor that as a coach you really appreciated. However, Kissy Walker remembers an NCAA game back a few years ago when her team was down at Tufts playing DeSales at Tufts University, where Frank's wife Mary and former President Clark were so animated and excited over the officiating. Apparently it wasn't good that day, and Frank got a little worked up. He thought that Mary and President Clark were going to get thrown out. They were yelling and screaming at the officials and really into the game, and maybe that's one time Frank wasn't as calm as we all knew him to be. But most of the time, that's what we loved about Frank. I think, honestly, one of Frank's greatest qualities as AD was the way he handled difficult situations. I think all the coaches here in the department would agree Frank was at his best when things were not. Whether it was a game that went wrong or badly, or a student athlete in conflict, or just a bad moment in time. Frank kept everything in perspective for us. He gave great advice based on his experience. Frank was all about supporting and remaining positive to coaches, athletes, anybody that came into his way. Frank was a big-time supporter of athletics here at Husson, as I mentioned. I'll just give a personal story in football. Back in 2017, we won the first round game against Springfield, and we were going to play the second round game. The rule in NCAA football, I believe, was anything further than 500 miles away, they would charter a plane for you. And the NCAA called him on the Sunday after the Springfield game and really tried to convince him for us to take a couple buses and save some money for the NCAA by busing us down to Philly. And Frank asked us what we wanted. We wanted that plane ride. We wanted that experience for our kids. And I've never seen a guy work so hard to get us on that charter plane out of Bangor that next week to go to Delaware Valley. And he put a lot of time in that week. He really fought hard for our athletes. And that was a great moment for our kids, our coaches, and really the school to get on a plane here in Bangor and go play a playoff football game. So we really appreciate that and what Frank did. In conclusion, Frank was a tremendous athletic director here at Husson. I believe we got the best version of Frank here at Husson. Through all his experience prior to his arrival, Frank had developed his skills as a leader and a coach, and that greatly benefited our athletic department. Frank was a genuine leader, always present, and a very personal human being who likes and respects all people. On behalf of all the coaches, athletes, faculty, and staff, past and present here at Husson, it is my privilege and pleasure to introduce Frank Pergolizzi into the Husson Athletics Hall of Fame. Congrats, Frank.
Okay, take a picture first. On that trip, that football trip, I'll tell you this, the NCAA has plenty of money, so we were just going to try to reach into their pockets and make sure that that our kids were being treated fairly. And that was the case. Nat, thanks so much for your introduction. I feel very special. I'm honored for the opportunity to become a Husson University Eagle Hall of Famer and to be part of tonight's induction ceremony. A big part of being an athletic director is the relationships you build with coaches, student athletes, parents, media, alumni. All those things are part of the picture. I'm grateful to be part of this Hall of Fame with all of these outstanding athletes. The 6 people that we've presented tonight they're all blue collar hard workers, but they succeed. And I look forward to seeing them compete again in some shape, manner, or form because they're awesome. Awesome. I have great memories of all of them and the impact they made on Husson University and on our athletics program. Memories are a special part of everyone's life. One more page here. Arrived at Husson in the fall of 2013 on a day just like today. And as a matter of fact, I think it was homecoming in 2013. And my first day at Husson was here in this room. No, we did the banquet. The banquet was up in where was it, Janine? Up in Penobscot. So over the next 10 years, I was very proud of all the accomplishments that happened both on and off the field because our kids succeeded, our coaches succeeded. Thank you, coaches, athletes, friends, and fans. Mary, my wife Mary, who is with me tonight, I'll tell you a little Mary story. And she doesn't know that this story is coming. And I'm going way back in the early 1990s. And I was the head football coach and director of athletics at St. Francis College that Nat mentioned. And we had just determined that I was gonna stop coaching football and focus my efforts on administration. And when my wife heard that, she didn't think at all that there'd be games to go to and games to go to and games to go to and games to go to. So I was able to make her aware. But Mary and I are grateful for the memories we share of Husson, the 10 years that we worked here are great, and the years that we still have to come, I hope are just as great, because we're going to be here supporting the Husson Eagles whenever we can. Thank you very much.
One of the most dominating defensive presences in Husson University football program history, Ellis Throckmorton competed for the Eagles from 2013 to 2016. A four-time Eastern Collegiate Football All-Conference selection, Throckmorton earned first-team linebacker honors in 2014 and 2016, and second-team honors in 2013 and 2015. Throckmorton helped the Eagles win 3 straight ECFC championships from 2014 to 2016, and was recognized as a preseason All-American by the American College Football Network in 2016. The 2016 Husson Football Eagle Award winner was named to the National Football Foundation Hampshire Honor Society in 2016, and earned Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference first-team All-Conference honors in 2014. During his 4 years with the Eagles, Throckmorton racked up 316 tackles, 168 solo, and 148 assisted stops. He tallied 11 passes defended, 6 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries, 11.5 sacks, and 46 tackles for loss. At the time of his induction, Throckmorton ranks second all-time in assisted tackles, forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries, third in total tackles and tackles for loss, and fourth in unassisted tackles.
It's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Ellis Throckmorton as the newest member of the Husson University Athletic Hall of Fame. This is truly a special evening for Ellis, his family, and all of us connected to Husson football. This richly deserving honor places him in elite company with the finest men and women athletes ever to wear the green and gold. I met Ellis in the fall of 2015, Ellis's junior year. I retired the year before, but a week prior to the season in 2015, Coach Gabby Price gave me a call and gave me an opportunity to continue coaching. And I can say that it's one of the best decisions I ever made to come back. And it's an interesting dynamic when a new coach comes in to work with an established and accomplished player, and Ellis was certainly all of that. There's often resistance to try doing things new way or adapt to a different coaching style. And that wasn't the case with Ellis. He just wanted to be coached. He wanted to be coached hard. He wanted to be challenged. I quickly learned that Ellis had a passion for the game that matched my own, and he had an insatiable desire to learn. From my end, it was a match made in heaven. He was a true joy to coach. Ellis personified all the qualities we want in a player, a young man of high character who excelled in every aspect of being a student athlete. He has a big personality, confident yet humble. When he walks into a room, he owns it. Always positive, always upbeat, the kind of guy that people want to be around. I know that was certainly the situation in our case. People gravitate toward him, a tremendous ambassador to Husson football and to Husson in general. As a player, He was intelligent, student of the game. He had a work ethic second to none, a quality that's carried over to his life today. He was fearless, ferocious, relentless. He was intimidating. He played with an edge and was always on the edge, and that's part of what made him a great player. He looked the part and played the part. He had a swag before really swag was a term used by athletes. Yet his greatest virtue, and I think the one that I admire most, was his humility. His preparation was meticulous, allowing him to play with a level of confidence rarely seen. As gifted a player as he was, his greatest strength was his heart. He had a burning desire to excel. He wanted to be great, and he was. He wanted to win, and he did. Oh boy, did we ever win. His style of play and quality of play earned him the reputation as one of New England's finest players. He was universally respected by all our opponents. But the thing that strikes me most, and for those of you that have seen him play, it was just so much fun to watch him play. He just cut it loose and just played with a smile on his face and a chip on his shoulder. As a teammate, I can honestly say that I've never been around a player more highly respected by his teammates and coaches. He carried himself like the champion he is, an outstanding leader in every regard. He recognized the contributions of everyone in our program. He embraced everyone. Everyone mattered to him. Ellis is one of the most highly decorated players in our program's history, yet it was the team that he placed above all else. It was the success of the team that mattered most to him. He was and continues to be a winner in every respect. With all the individual success he achieved, all the accolades, all the recognition that he brought to himself and our program, he was always quick to credit his teammates and coaches for the role they had in his success. For me, I share a relationship with him that only those who play and coach this great game can even begin to understand. We go through so much together in this sport. And Ellis's impact on our program is still evident today. Ellis was one of a select group of players who were instrumental in establishing the winning culture that exists in our program today. This is truly a special occasion for Ellis and his family, whose unwavering love and support has always been at the forefront of his life. I know that he's a tremendous source of pride to his family. And introduce to you now Ellis Throckmorton. Thank you.
This is the one I've been reading from. It's the right font. Ed Mysterious is a first-class dude. One of a kind. This is his 50th year coaching. Let's give it up for Coach Mysterious. It's an honor to be part of this group of athletes here tonight. I want to say thanks for the committee and thanks to the university for putting this on. I never thought I would go to college across the street from where I went to high school. As a senior at Bangor, I was thinking about playing in college, so I went and checked out a Husson game. They got their asses handed to them, losing 72-0. You know, after watching it, I was like, you know what, maybe I should just steer clear of this program. I decided not to play football that year. I went to the University of Maine,
One semester in, not much to show for it, I was missing football. I thought back to the last fall I went without playing, and I was in the 3rd grade. And I think it's safe to say I acted with the same maturity level in Orono that year as I did in 3rd grade. So, I needed the outlet that football provided to take everything seriously. Nat Clark gave me a call. He told me there was a bunch of guys I played in high school with from Bangor, and guys I played in the Lobster Bowl with, a bunch of coaches that were at Bangor. So, Coach Price was coming back too. That was good. That was key. So I was like, seems like a good opportunity for me. I needed something to care about. I told Coach Clark that. He told me, take some time to think about it. He'd call me back in a couple weeks. So I don't know how familiar everyone here is with football helmets. But the only thing I could think of that worried me about transferring to Husson was they all wore those DNA helmets. And I'm a middle linebacker, the helmet I'm going to be wearing is pretty important to me. Especially because, my style of play was just drive the crown of my head through opposition's face mask until I could see in their eyes they're just sorry. Anyway, I tried one of those DNA helmets out in high school for a practice, and I was just like getting my bell rung. And so I wasn't really interested in playing with those helmets. So Coach Clark called me back a couple weeks later, and he said, what do you think? And I was like, geez, Coach, those helmets, I don't know about those helmets. And he's like, well, we just bought 100 new Rebo Speed helmets, and that's the ones I like. So I was like, all right, I think I'm sold. The first day at camp, or first week at camp, they gave everybody a depth chart. So when I looked at mine, I saw my name at the top, and I was like, because I'm a first year, I didn't earn anything. So I took my name, crossed it out, wrote it at the bottom of the depth chart, and then at the end of that team meeting, an upperclassman came up to me, and he's like, regarding his depth chart, and he's like, hey, I'm coming for your spot. And I was like, what? So I took out my depth chart. I was like, that's weird, man. Your depth chart says I'm up above you, but it looks like I'm coming for your spot. I don't know, man. But he didn't have much to say back to me after that. But I didn't lose my spot. I was so pumped to take it to play football again after that year off. It really gave me a appreciation for the game that I wouldn't have had without it. I remember telling Coach Price every day after practice that I had a blast, and I meant it. And we had some great players and coaches. The trainers were top-notch. I mean, even the AD was halfway decent. Thanks, Frank. Truth is, I'm not standing here today without efforts from hundreds of people. Countless teammates, guys that I could look in the eyes, and I just know they had my back, just like I had theirs. I had so many outstanding coaches starting in youth football. Guys like Scott Scripture and Bruno Strout, who were hard on you at a young age, but also showed that they were doing it out of love. Through high school, guys like Al Mosca, Mark Hackett, Coach Clark, Fred Lauer, who for the first time treated you like a man. They kept it real, told you exactly how they felt, and I can't thank them enough for doing so. And then at Husson, the leader like Coach Price, who has a way of loving his players, unlike any other coach I've ever been around. I was lucky enough to have a couple of defensive coordinators during my time at Husson, and John Pritchard, who would bring me to tears before every game, just talking about how special it is to get the opportunity to play. And Grant Caserta, who had a way of making the complex simple, push you to become more of a student of the game, raise your level of play. To my linebacker coaches, Husson Hall of Famer Shane Rogers for 2 years, who had endless energy and taught us to play with swag. I don't know, they didn't teach us much about that at Bangor. And then, of course, Evans Theory, who you'd want to listen to every word he says because it's very efficient and very effective. Everything he spoke is just, you just want to listen. I'm going to replay that video probably over. A couple weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a teammate and roommate of mine during our time at Husson. He was the best man at my wedding, and potentially a future Hall of Famer here at Husson, Luke Washburn. I was talking to him about how I felt as though I'm just a lucky guy. He told me, yeah, you might be lucky, but that he believes that everyone is just doing the best with what they have. And I'm sure I'm glad to have that guy in my life. I thought to myself, I'm so thankful to have the parents that I have, and including 3 step parents. The sister I got to grow up with, which is probably a big reason why I became a linebacker. She just knew, she was a little bit quicker than me, and knew how to press my buttons. So I just wanted to crush her, My dad would randomly create a game that no one could possibly prepare for, and he showed me what it meant to be an athlete. He taught me a simple expression, which was work before play, which I take very seriously still to this day. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I always try to be an example of that. He told me to go pick up the ball and hand it to the official, and to honor the game. And of course my mom, who when I was 10 or so, decided to just tackle onto the couch with no warning. After doing so, I asked her, Mom, do you ever feel you just want to jack someone? She said, yep, I do understand that. You're talking to the right mom. Following up with, you just need to give me a little heads up. She taught me when I needed to take things seriously and always held me accountable. She also told me there's a time and place for helping the opposing team up off the ground. I'd say my parents are the biggest part of me doing the best of what I have. I can't thank them enough. I'll wrap it up with this. The individual statistic, whatever, what I'm most proud of individually is just being consistent and showing up every day and starting every game. At the time I graduated, I had the most career starts in Husson history, which is cool. And I think the key to that was just not wearing an undershirt. The team statistic I'm most proud of is that we had the 2 conference championships. That was the goal. The times we had as a band of brothers, whether we had pads on or not, will forever be some of the greatest times to look back on. I never played the game thinking about the Hall of Fame. I just did my best to play it with respect. You might say I got lucky, but I guess I made the most with the ace I was dealt. Thank you.
Good job, brother. Thank you. So you lead the way.
Kenzie Worcester, one of the most prolific scorers in Husson University women's basketball program history, competed for the Eagles from 2015 to 2018. A 4-time North Atlantic Conference All-Conference selection, Worcester earned second-team honors in 2016 and first-team recognition from 2017 to 2019, while helping the Eagles win 4 straight NAC titles from 2016 to 2019 and make 4 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances. The 2019 NAC Player of the Year earned Maine Women's Basketball Coaches Association All-State Rookie Team honors in 2016, in addition to 3 straight All-State selections from 2017 to 2019, Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference All-New England Honorable Mention in 2017, D3Hoops.com All-Northeast Region 3rd Team in 2019, New England Women's Basketball Association All-Region in 2018 and 2019, and was a senior All-Star Game participant in 2019. A four-time conference all-tournament team and tournament most valuable player selection, Worcester was crowned the Clara Swan Female Athlete of the Year twice in her career, winning the award during the 2017-2018 and 2018-2019 seasons. Worcester was selected as the Husson Women's Basketball Eagle Award recipient twice in 2018 and 2019, and earned College Sports Communicators Academic All-District in 2018. During her 4 seasons on the court, Worcester racked up 1,869 points, 547 rebounds, 341 assists, 226 steals, 38 blocks, shot .470 from the floor, .393 from behind the three-point line, and .843 from the free throw line. At the time of her induction, Worcester ranks first all-time in field goals attempted, three-pointers made, three-point percentage, free throw percentage, and second all-time in points, third in scoring average and field goals made, fourth in free throws made, fifth in assists, sixth in games played, seventh in steals, and ninth in field goal percentage and defensive rebounds.
Well, it's no surprise that I'm sitting here and I'm going to get to talk about Kenzie Worcester Turner, because Kenzie was probably the player that had the highest IQ of anyone that played for me. Kenzie loved to watch film, video, she studied the game. She was always trying to find a way to make herself better as much as making the team better as well. Kenzie was extremely consistent as a player, and that's something that sometimes we don't see until, you know, maybe that junior, senior year, but right from the freshman, right from the get-go, she was really consistent. She shot something like 49% from the three-point line and about 50% from the twos. Kenzie, out of high school, she won 4 state championships, came to Husson, we won 4 NAC championships, and then her 5th year of the PT program, she was a student assistant for us, and we won another NAC championship. Kenzie graduates, goes on to Caribou High School and is an assistant coach, and this past year, Caribou won the state championship, and I think they hadn't won in like 30 years. So this girl is a champion, she's a winner. Everything she's around, she wins. She's just amazing. And honestly, we learn more from Kenzie than we taught her. Kenzie changed the way that we train our girls now. We make all of our post players do guard work, and we make all of the guards train the way a post would train. Kenzie had better post moves really than anyone on the team. She would drive into the paint or pass, cut, and receive a pass, get back into the paint, and then there'd be some girl that's 5'8", 5'9", standing in front of her, and she'd step, spin, up and under, and score, and we'd just look at each other as coaches and be like, how the heck did she get that in? So, Kenzie, want to thank you for all that we've learned from you, and I'm really honored today, excited about you going into the Hall of Fame because you are extremely deserving. So congratulations.
All right, congratulations to everyone selected into the Husson Sport Hall of Fame tonight. It is an honor to be a part of the 2025, I don't think this is my speech. Give me a second.
Okay, congratulations to each individual and team for being selected into Husson's 2025 Sports Hall of Fame. It is an honor to be nominated alongside each of you, as well as those before us. Husson University is truly a special place, and I am so thankful that I decided to pursue my education here and continue my basketball career here under Coach Walker. When I think back on some of my favorite memories, they all tend to have a common theme: family. And that is exactly what brought me to Husson, my brother Mitch. I was so scared to leave the familiarity of home, but I knew I'd have a piece of home with Mitch by my side. For those of you who may not know me, I am a very reserved, quiet person, and for those of you who know Mitch, you know he's quite the opposite. I knew that if I attended Husson, he would introduce me to new friends, as we often had the same friend group growing up. On my first day, it seemed like he introduced me to the entire campus. As we ate lunch together, and no exaggeration here, he said hi to literally everyone that walked by and chatted with every single person. Mitch, I am so thankful for all the memories growing up and playing sports together, but I am especially thankful that you took me under your wing during this stage of our lives as we built a new family here at Husson University. Playing at the same college allowed our family and friends from home to come see us just about every weekend, and I am so appreciative to each and every one of you for your endless support. I loved being able to look up into the stands and see you guys up there at every game, even if it meant hearing my mom yell at the refs occasionally. Not only did we receive support from family at home, but we also made lasting friendships with so many other student athletes at Husson University. Our friends would come to so many of our games, and we would return the favor. That's the special part about Husson Athletics. It's such a tight-knit community where everyone supports each other. And while I am proud of everything our team accomplished during my time at Husson, I treasure the friendships made most. I cherish being able to share special moments of our lives as we continue to keep in touch. These lasting friendships forged during college were not simply what got me through college, but what truly made the experience an unforgettable one. In addition to friendships made, I also gained many mentors here at Husson who became family as well. There are many coaches and many professors that I could name, but of course I'm a little bit biased towards the Husson women's basketball staff. Coach Walker quickly became not just a coaching mentor, but a mentor in life too. I can't tell you how many hours I spent in her office, mainly talking strategies, but also about classes and life as well. Coach, I'm sure you never expected me to be in your office on almost a daily basis after my recruiting visit, where I probably said less than 10 words to you. Every time I walked by your office, you always greeted me with a smile and welcomed me in. I am grateful. You taught me that there is so much more to basketball than just strategy, that it's about building a culture. As the years went by, I learned that you, Coach Walker, build your life on this principle as well, that you build your family by creating an inviting culture that others want to be a part of, resulting in your success. Not necessarily in terms of wins and losses, but in a fulfilled life. Not only does this philosophy encapsulate my time here at Husson University, with my newfound family, but it also has guided the way that I continue to live my life. Thank you.
The 2013 Husson University softball team set the standard for what the program has become today, winning the first NCAA tournament game in program history. The team finished 32-12-1 overall, with a 15-1 record in North Atlantic Conference play. The Eagles eclipsed the 30-win plateau for the second straight season, posting an impressive 16-0 record at home and 2 separate 9-game winning streaks. Under head coach Amanda Burgoyne, a Hall of Famer, the 2013 squad included 4 individual Hall of Fame members. Amy Mortensen Price was inducted in 2019, Lana Sargent was inducted in 2022, Kayla Merrill Beers was inducted in 2023, and Lindsay Merrill was inducted in this year's class. At the time of its induction, the 2013 team ranks 5th all-time in runs scored, 3rd in hits, 5th in runs batted in, 6th in total bases, 4th in stolen bases, and 3rd in program wins in a season. The 2013 team featured 5 NAC All-Conference selections in Amy Mortensen, Lana Sargent, Victoria Overlock, Amanda Ryan, and Courtney Hill. Becca McCarty was crowned NAC Tournament Most Valuable Player, while McCarty, Heidi Shaw, and Ryan all earned All-Tournament Team honors. The Eagles beat Vermont State University Castleton 2-0 and 6-0 in the NAC Championship to earn the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. After falling 1-0 to number 10 Rowan University in their opening game, Husson beat Bridgewater State University 1-0 in its second game, earning the first NCAA tournament win in program history, advancing to the second day before ending their historic run with a 2-1 loss to Springfield College.
What I remember specifically about our team that year is probably the trust and the support that we all had for each other. It was real, and you could feel that. We all really respected each other. I know a lot of times teams can get caught up in themselves. The players individually can think about how they're performing, and you can compete with other teammates for positions, but that year there was none of that. We all just had each other's backs. We didn't care so much about our individual performance as we did as the team's performance. We all just knew that we were really good and that we really had to come together and really trust and respect each other in order to really see our potential be brought to light. There wasn't all the drama, there was no egos or anything like that. It was just respect, and it felt really good. That year was just very light, and we had the discipline, and we had the trust in each other, and you could just really feel that. And for so long, Husson softball, we were good, and we knew we were good, but we'd make it all the way to regionals, and then we just couldn't win that game. So that was really tough, and I feel like we had that limiting belief that we could just never win a regional game. But that year specifically, I think just by really, truly having each other's backs, that was just the extra that we needed to get to that regional game and finally win. And I think that really set the tone for future softball teams at Husson to come, and because they started to win regional games, and I think that we could have had something to do with that. But it was a great team. It was a great year. I'm really thankful we could all really come together and create magic that year.
First, I want to say congrats to everybody. It's very exciting that this team was inducted into the Hall of Fame. The thing that I remember the most about this team is the compassion and the will to win. I think this team was very much a cannot, will not lose team. And I think that was something that was passed down from the leaders, and that's something that stuck with me for my 4 years playing softball. I just remember we were all so close-knit. We all were laughing, we were giggling, we were making the most out of practices, we were making the most out of games. Even when something wouldn't go exactly right, we were all there to pick each other up. It really took up and down the lineup to win games. That was something that was instilled with me for my 4 years, is really the compassion, the will to always win, and the leadership that the upperclassmen brought down to the younger people. This was a super fun team to be on, just because it was always laughing, it was always giggling, along with the hard work. I don't remember a day where I didn't love going to practice, just because you never knew what Lana and Courtney were going to say, or they'd be giggling out in the outfield, and it was just, everybody was fun to be around, and everybody worked so hard. This team was one of my favorites, and I am super proud and super happy to be part of this Hall of Fame team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ran out of awards right for Dottie.
Honest to God, you were the key.
When you guys were hungry, I had
You did.
put it Finnegan.
Shoot, can I sit?
Do we have somebody that wants to speak?
All right, I have absolutely zero prepared to my daughters and sisters up here, and to Terry. I hope he made it. There he is. And this was just a great group, and I'd say we should all just say thank you to Amanda. She's somewhere out in British Columbia. That's why she's not here, and she set the culture. Taryn continued the culture. Thank you, Taryn. Diane has continued it, and now Rick's doing it. And it is a wonderful experience. We need one more championship this year, and then we'll fill the whole damn banner, and you got to get us a new one. Go softball.
Here we go. Yeah. I'll catch you, don't worry. That's right.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a great night. I guess we shouldn't have been surprised by the turnout of the softball team based on the videos talking about how close-knit they were. I think that's the highest percentage of a team we've ever inducted show up, so just awesome to see. Congratulations again to this year's Husson University Sports Hall of Fame class. Let's give them one more round of applause. Two points of housekeeping here before I let you go for the night. One, if the inductees could stick around for one big group picture, I'd appreciate it before you run off. And then secondly, just some activities going on tomorrow around campus if you're going to still be in town. Tailgating starts at 10 a.m., right out here. We've got a women's soccer match versus University of Maine and Farmington at 11 a.m. at Boucher Field. We've got the football game versus New England College at noon time. We have men's soccer versus University of Maine at Farmington at 1:30. And then at 6 p.m. we have field hockey versus the University of Maine and Farmington as well. And that will conclude tonight's ceremony, and safe travels to everyone.